And joining me now is Congressman Khanna of California. And Congressman, I don't know how much you chat with the folks in that other chamber, but hopefully I've characterized this all correctly, because it sounds to me like it's another 1-2 punch that's being required here. You know, force the acceptance of this negotiated deal, but also get the sick days. Do you see it getting through?
Joy, I'm cautiously optimistic, but you were absolutely right. It is such common sense that railroad workers should get 7 paid sick days. I mean, how can you require in COVID, where people have to take 5 days to quarantine, not having the option of having a paid sick day? That's all they're asking for, while railroad companies are making record profits. I believe the president should say, I'm only going to sign the bill that the House of Representatives passed with 7 sick days. If not, I'm not going to sign it, and put the pressure on the Senate to deliver.
And we know that Senator Bernie Sanders has said that he won't support the one bill without the paid sick days. He won't support the main bill. Do you know of any other senators who've made a similar commitment? And he says there he's intending to block consideration of the rail legislation until a roll call vote occurs on guaranteeing the 7 paid sick days. Do you know if there are any others that are on that same that have that same plan?
Not publicly. Senator Sanders obviously has been a champion for getting the sick days. Now, there are Republicans who have said that they will vote for the paid sick days, Senators Cruz and Hawley and Rubio. And the question is, are they really going to stand with what they've been saying rhetorically? I mean, this is their chance to show that they actually are standing for family values. This is their chance to show that they're actually standing for working families and blue-collar voters. So I am very glad that we're going to have people on the record. I'm really proud of Senator Sanders for his commitment to this issue. And I think the president should make it clear, look, that this is not asking for something excessive. Most people believe that you should be able to get up to 7 days for paid leave if you're sick.
And what happens if this doesn't go through? Because it sounds like an economic catastrophe is just ahead.
It is. But the question, Joy, in this country is, if we're going to avert economic catastrophe, should the burden always fall on the working class? Should we always tell them, just be fine with it? Or should we at some point say, no, the burden has to fall on the people who are the railroad executives who are making millions of dollars? Why not claw back some of that money and put it into paid sick leave? And that's why I think people are making this stand, because if the workers were asking for some huge pay raise, that'd be one thing. They're just asking to be able to take a day off if they're sick or their kids are sick. It's just the humane thing to do, and we need to stand with them and demand that the corporations make the compromises.
It's hard for me to understand what the argument against this would be. Have you heard what the argument is from these rail companies as to why they don't think it's a good idea to give these folks a week off if they're sick?
They claim that they've already given large pay increases. They claim that the workers have already negotiated that. But that would be like saying, OK, we gave you a pay increase, but you don't get health care. Right. We gave you, I mean, these are basics. And they've just gotten away with these things because they claim then, oh, the economy is going to collapse. We have to do that. The same argument happened with the financial crash. They said we have to bail out the bankers because otherwise the economy will crash. And it puts people in a difficult position. I understand that the president's first commitment is to keep the economy strong. But, you know, at some point we have to say the working class can't always get shafted. We can't do this on the backs of the people who are working the hardest, who are being treated unfairly. And I'm really proud of the House that we voted unanimously as Democrats for that 7 paid sick days.
Yeah. Only in America do we have to argue over whether you can stay home if you're sick and not drive a train as a person who's sick. Thank you, Congressman Khanna. Wild world.